Evening, everyone. So before I decided to do my quick what if this week, I decided, with Infinity War now 4 days away, because I'm seeing it on Thursday, um, I'm going to give my prediction, my take on who I think are the Avengers that will, or Avengers slash Guardians slash the characters we've come to know from the movies, who are going to bite it. Now, when I say the characters who are going to bite it, I do mean the characters who are going to die and stay dead. I don't mean characters who we may get like a false. Because, like, for instance, in the previews, like in the trailers, we get a hint that maybe like Iron Man might bite it, or even Cap, or Spider-Man. For instance, Spider-Man, we know for a fact Spider-Man has a movie coming up. So, another movie. He's got a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming coming up. So, even if he were to die, he's not going to stay dead. Like, they'll course correct it with it in the next one. So these are just the Avengers who I think, or the MCU characters I think, are going to not make it in Avengers 3 and 4. So, or at least in Avengers 3. Now, we're basically just going to go down the list of the core Avengers, then Guardians, then the new ones, so forth and so on. Now, when it comes to the core Avengers, I don't think we're seeing Thor, Cap, or Iron Man die a permanent death. They're two marketable characters. They will eventually just recast them. I think they'll be brought back at some point. Likewise, I don't see Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, because they've been talking about a solo Black Widow movie for a while and an all-female superhero or all-female MCU movie for a while, so I don't see that happening either. Then you get into Hulk. Hulk, too valuable commodity. He's just a great additive to any story. I don't see him having a permanent death. Hawkeye, off the bat, if Hawkeye dies, it'll be in Avengers 4. It's not going to be in Avengers 3. Because we haven't seen him in any of the marketing, and so he has a very specific mission in Avengers 3. So I don't think we're going to see him die in Avengers 3. If he dies, it's going to be in Avengers 4. But I don't personally think we're going to see him go the way of the dodo. Rhodey, I think we might see Rhodey die. I think Rhodey's a good candidate on the chopping block. I think Bucky's a good candidate on the chopping block. Falcon, I think there's more you can do with Falcon. I think Falcon's going to stay alive. Scarlet Witch is going to stay alive. I think Vision's going to be one of those dead then brought back situations. I think that's the case for Vision. So at the moment, right now, I only have Bucky and Rhodey dying actual deaths, like actually staying dead at the moment. And then if we just move quickly into the Guardians, Star-Lord's going to live through this. Rocket and Groot are going to live through this. Nebula's dead. Oh. And see, it's either Gamora or Drax that's going to bite, because there is a shot in one of the newest trailers, like a couple weeks ago, or spots, where we see Iron Man holding back Star-Lord, and Star-Lord's just like, oh my god, I'm almost certain one of those two is going to bite it. If I were to guess which one's not going to make it out of there, Drax is the more high-headed and more easy to charge into battle than Gamora is. But Gamora's got the personal connection, and we have no idea what the requirements of getting the Soul Stone are. That might be the requirements of killing a loved one. Or even if that is a requirement, if the Soul Stone needs to be acquired that way. I'm going to go on the limb and say it's Drax. Drax is the one that gets it. I think Gamora will make it out, but I think Drax is the one that gets it. I mean, Yondu's dead, obviously. Mantis could survive. I think Mantis stands an honestly solid shot because, but that one's up in the air. These are the ones I actually think are going to die. So as it stands, I think Bucky's going to die. I think Rhodey's going to die. I think Nebula's going to die. I think of the two, I think I'm going to go with Drax as the one that's going to die. I think one of those two is definitely dead. Then I'm also in the camp where I think Loki's going to die. Loki's definitely, because besides that scene on the Asgardian ship, we don't see him in any of the rest of the trailer. Doesn't mean he doesn't show up, but we don't see him, so I think Loki dies. Now in terms of, we go quickly on the Asgardian side, I think Korg lives, because I think basically what happens is there's escape pods, and I think Korg, Valkyrie, we know is probably going to live. I think I'm going to say Heimdall lives. And the reason I'm going to say Heimdall lives is, well, Heimdall could easily die in this scenario. where Thanos clearly storms the Asgardian ship. I think Thor sends him ahead to protect the other Asgardians because he's probably the strongest one apart of the Asgardians, apart from he's easily in the top 4 strongest Asgardians. He's probably even stronger than Valkyrie, I'd imagine. That's my guess. So yeah, and then we get into the other Avengers that have shown up over the years. Scarlet Witch, I think she's gonna be fine. Spider-Man, if he dies, and I'm just going from the thing we saw in a little bit of the trailer, was like, I'm sorry, Tony, I'm sorry. That I think it's just gonna be a one movie death, and when whatever reset happens, he'll be one of the people brought back. Doctor Strange is gonna live. Ant-Man, I think he's gonna be fine. He's got a movie coming out, but the movie actually, from what I understand, takes place mostly, almost completely before Infinity War. That's what I've heard. After that, am I missing anyone in terms of newly brought in character? Oh, Black Panther. Black Panther's gonna live. I mean, he's gonna live. Now that said, could anyone in like Okoye, Makobu, or is it Makobu? Manape. I think Manape's probably gonna die. Okoye, I think Okoye is gonna be okay. Shuri, I think, is gonna be okay. So I think the majority of Black Panther's crew is gonna be okay. I'm just like quickly just going over all the Marvel movies through my head right now. Civil War, we didn't really get introduced to anyone else I haven't gone over. No, yeah, I think I've gone over them. Oh, and I think Wong's probably gonna die. If I'm gonna just give my predictions on who I think is gonna die, it's gonna be Rhodey, Bucky, Drax, Nebula, Wong, and Loki. I think those are your big 6 that are gonna die in Infinity War. Now, again, I don't think and those when I say those are the big 6 that are going to die, I mean those are going to big 6 that are going to die and possibly stay dead. Well, I could probably make the exception with Loki. Loki could possibly come back because he's a very big integral part of Thor's character arc and story. But I would still probably say Loki stays dead. Those are ones that are going to stay dead. If someone like Cap or Iron Man or Spider-Man or Thor or any of like the really big ones die, you'd be risking losing some money with them, because we've seen that Iron Man and Cap both are billion-dollar grossing film characters, and that Thor has very much gone back up in popularity, and Chris Hemsworth has been reinvigorated by Thor Ragnarok to continue playing the character. So I don't think if you kill them, they stay dead. But that's not knocking on characters that could just overall die in the film. But I'm talking about the characters who are going to die and stay dead. So that's what I mean when I say characters are going to die. But hey, we'll see what happens in Avengers: Infinity War. 4 days, man. 4 days. Count them. I'm so freaking. Every day that goes by, I'm getting a bit more. I'm getting that excitement's really starting to build. And I was like, oh, well, again, I'm getting there. Oh, I remember the days for the first Avengers when we stood in line. Oh yeah, I remember standing in line for that movie. Oh man. And then like a Dark Knight, and I think the Dark Knight Rises. I remember standing in line for those. I've stood in line for. Did I stand in line for The Force Awakens? No, I actually got pre-assigned seats for that one. Yeah, I stood in line for Last Jedi, but I stood in line for The Force Awakens. I mean, granted, I don't like standing in line if I don't have to, but I do kind of miss the days of when there was lines out the doors. I remember there were I remember movies where there were lines out the doors. You remember those? Granted, yeah, I would still prefer to, have the pre-assigned seating. Unfortunately, the screen we're going to didn't have a pre-assigned selection. That was reserved for actually, let me double check real quick, because Mark took the day off for this, and so I chose it, and I wasn't 100% sure he was going to, and neither was he. So I chose a showtime that I felt he could make. And that's not the right one. That's Amber Cinema. I'm looking for Cinemark. There we go. But yeah, now just hindsight. I mean, we got our tickets, so the tickets have been acquired. We're going to the showtime we're seeing, but I am a little curious about what some of the other showtime. Oh, yeah, we could have gone to a 7 o'clock reserved seating showing. Granted, it would have been XD, but still. And you know what? And I fully admitted to Mark and Carrie, I'm like, this is a movie that, because I was the one who had to get the tickets, I'm okay shelling out some extra money to see it in XD. I am. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, Mark couldn't arrange the day off until after I got the tickets, so it is what it is. Anyway, though, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win: Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put a comment, put in comments below. Let me know. We'll get to it at some point. Back a little bit with what if. And I might have another video up today. If not, I'll have it up on Tuesday. But, yeah, thanks for watching.